Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of All the Rumors Are True. We have Auntie back in the building for our third time. She was on season 1 twice, and I do have to add that your 2 videos were the highest viewed on YouTube.
Great.
I mean,
I've got to be good at something.
well, you're good at podcasting. So I think we should just make this the Mighty Mill and Auntie pod and just get on here and let it rip.
Let's have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here to do. So thanks for coming back on. We're on season 2 now. So season 1 was great, right? And terrible all at the same time. All the difficulties trying to navigate it.
Well, honey, sometimes you got to fall before you can get back up.
Yes. And, my knees are pretty scraped up. I've fallen
Honey,
way too many times.
As you can see, I've got on my derby shirt that you gave me. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
And it reminds me, my son, I have renamed him the Timex Man.
Okay, tell me what's that?
Why? Well, as you know, last year you got me this shirt for the Derby. Of course, they scratched his horse.
Yeah.
So this year he had the champion 2-year-old, number 1 in the Derbies. After he won the big Horse of the Year award, I pull out my iPad, read, Ted is out of the Derby.
I know, I read it the morning of the Derby, and I didn't even bother to text Todd or you.
I text all 3 of my grandkids, and I said, I've renamed your dad Timex because he can take a licking and keep ticking. So the following week, he unleashes another one of his 3-year-olds that won by many lengths. So I said, honey, I tell him we have to get Lakey tough.
Yes. And get back up.
Hey, take a lick and keep ticking.
I like that one. That's a new one.
It's his new name.
The Timex Man.
And you and I were talking before about, I lost my sister and your grandmother, and her highlight was she and I's trip to Dubai.
Yes. And I do want to hear about it because I obviously knew when y'all went that your son had flown y'all. And I remember it was such a big deal because I remember this is back like before cell phones and stuff. So y'all took the cameras, that you had to get developed and you were like, Mill, we rode camels and we flew first class. So how was that 2 women from Lakey, Texas going to Dubai?
Well, honey, it was country come to town. We flew into New York. Okay, good. We had to catch a tram deal to get over to, they have their own airlines.
Did you fly Qatar or do you know which one it was?
Dubai.
It might have been Qatar because that's a big one that flies
Qatar, no, it's they own the deal. I'll think of it maybe. And anyway, we got on Emerald.
Oh, Emirates?
Emirates.
Yes.
Well, we got on and we kept circling. And my sister, of course, she always got me to do things. And she said, you've got to go ask somebody, when are we going to get off of this? So some guy was reading the newspaper and I tapped him and said something, could you tell me where this airline is? He just totally ignored me and I went back and said, we made another circle and I went back. And being from Lakey, I said, hey! Can you please tell me?
Can you point me the way off this tram?
And we did, and we got off the tram and got in there, and Todd and Johnny Velasquez and all of them were there, a lot of jockeys.
Love Johnny. I've met Johnny multiple times, which I don't think a lot of people realize that jockeys can ride for different trainers and owners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I met Johnny for the first time in like I think 2011 or something, somewhere around there. Anyway, and I remember I saw him. He then won again for somebody else. But that's a misconstrued fact.
And the only way they can run for one person is if they're under contract.
Got it. But it would probably behoove them to sign a contract, right? Because then they have to work with one person.
No.
And if you don't sign one, you get to work for everybody.
Everybody.
Right. Fair game.
You got to be like the preacher. You got to go where they call the loudest. I always go where the money's at.
That's a good one. Okay, so sorry. So you finally get off the tram. You're probably at JFK Airport, I'm assuming.
Or LaGuardia,
Yeah.
I think it was that. Yeah. Okay. Everything's there. The couple that had won the Derby last year was a guest of the sheiks or whatever you call them. All the deals, and they had everything to eat and drink you would want. So, one thing about it, when you've been around Todd, he just lets you run,
Oh, yeah. He'll sit there and just watch you go.
I've said, I don't care if he admitted, he has read those Jane Austen's books because, like the dad said, gotta let her go. She's not going to be happy till she makes a fool out of herself. So that's how I figured. Todd said, just let her rip. Don't try to stop her. Of course, my sister was so dignified. She probably didn't get on the wine or whatever. But we made it and got there, and they had a valet. We could go two ways to our room. We could either walk or go by boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, on the deal. And everything, they're building all the time, but it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is a beautiful place, and they furnished a deal, and Todd.
And y'all went and watched like horse racing.
That at night they race there at night.
I did know that.
But in the daytime, he took us once. They had a ski resort built
inside the mall, right?
Mall, yeah. We did that, and went around, and then I went and bought jewelry. Like I say, Todd just lets me. He doesn't even try to tell me anything. I bought a camel bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I paid full price. I didn't know you were supposed to. Hello. So we go.
Oh, my
God. We go out to the desert. The sheikh gave a big party. And you've seen these tablescapes.
Oh, yeah.
He had them from this room to that with every kind of food imaginable, two of them. And he and the princess were there. But they had their bodyguards,
Oh, yeah.
And walk up. And then that's where we rode the camels.
I remember seeing pictures that y'all...
We rode the camels. And then we sat and ate lunch. And I had met this TV announcer. I think he is retired now, but he and Todd, because we were talking about it the other day, he asked my sister and I if he could sit and eat with us,
Oh, yeah.
And I gave him all these horse race stories,
Oh, yeah, because you've been around it forever.
Like one of them goes like this. You can have a horse, but you can tell an owner his wife's ugly and his kid's stupid, but don't tell him he can't run. And I gave him all that stuff. We had fun. So the next night we go to, we had big horses riding. We go up to the deal. We got upstairs. The owners were all there, and they had open bar and any kind of food you want, from foie gras on. I mean,
they roll the red carpet out.
Hey, money, they're not.
It's not an option. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
My sister probably might have drank one drink, and I told the guy behind the serving us, I said, I'd like a wine with ice, and he said, ma'am, you do not put ice in your drink. And I looked at him and said, I do, and that's what I want.
I can't even imagine the bartender. I mean, they probably never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, and so it did teach me. I said, stop embarrassing yourself. Order wine with ice on the side, as you well know. Okay, we got seated. Todd was with the owners, Billy and I, and up came this gorgeous woman that looked like a model and two men, and I looked over at Billy and I said, oh my God, we're in for it now. They sat down, and honey, I had more fun with those people. That guy was getting drinks all night. He leaned over me and he said, we come here all the time shopping, And then he said, I just bet $100,000 on this horse. And I said, oh, that's so nice.
And we come here shopping. You're like, yeah, I come here once in a lifetime.
Yeah, we come here all the time shopping and this, that, and the other. And the people from California that came in with the big horse, he had on Western boots. So finally, after 2 or 3 or how many wines, he came by and I said, love your boots. So
you're my kind of people. Let's visit.
You're my kind of people. Yeah.
I can spy a Texan.
Have fun. So that was the deal of our trip. But it was, Todd was going to take us to a room that was all gold, but it was a religious holiday, and they couldn't go. Now it's 3 times what it was when we were there.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of reality TV, and there's a housewife show that's over there. Yeah. And just watching that show, it's like, and to be very honest, I've never had a desire to go there. There was a girl that lived here, and she cussed a cop out and got put in jail.
Oh yeah.
I cuss like a sailor. I'm like, I'd be in jail before I got off the plane. Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and skip that country.
The women, when we were eating breakfast, they had on their attire, but they all had on big designer bags.
I've never seen more designer stuff than I have on that show that I watch. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
And now Qatar, they're doing the racing now.
Yes.
To competition, but honey, no money. There's no objects with money.
No, not at all. No. So I have a funny / terrifying story. So, I was recently in Europe, and when I was flying home, there was no Wi-Fi on the flight home, and it was 11 hour flight. And, I was like, well, this is going to suck, but whatever, our little TVs work. So I can just watch movies and whatever. So when I was landing, there was a tornado happening. I don't know if I've told you this story yet, but
you text
in the top 3 most terrifying things that's ever happened to me in my life. So the captain comes on, and it's 11-hour flight. So there's 3 or 4 pilots because we're on a heavy. We're on a big boy coming back, And the flight wasn't smooth at all for the 11 hours, but he gets on and he's like, if you look out this window, we're flying over New Orleans, there's bad storms, but if you look out the other window, we're fine. And I mean, just terrible lightning and thunder. And I guess that should have prefaced me for what was about to happen on the landing in Houston. And this is a true story, and I probably need to seek therapy after it. I had given, my girlfriend was sitting, we were in pods, and my girlfriend was sitting in the pod to the left of me. And I had bought you, because I know you love magazines and fashion. And so I had bought you like British Vogue, a bunch of the ones that you can't get here in the States. And like $100, it was 3 magazines. It was like €100. I mean, it was ridiculous, so expensive. And I was like, oh my gosh, Auntie's going to love these. So my girlfriend had looked through them and she set them there, you know, in her pod, and she was watching Landman actually. And we start getting bumpy, and I've been through bumps, but I'm talking, my tits were at the top. I mean, I don't know how I didn't knock my own self out with them. It was, and I look out the window and I see we're in the tornado. You just see the swirling. And of course you can only see the swirling. And then the fool in the pod next to me has his window shut and is sleeping. I'm like, psychopath. How in the hell are we flying through an active tornado and you're asleep? Like, whatever medicine he's on, I should have asked, because I would love to be recommended what kind of that was. Yeah, a shot in the neck, a dart in the neck. So we go through this tornado, we land, and there's sirens and everything, you know, because they had closed down the runways. I mean, it was bad. And this is how bad the landing was. And if somebody else would have told me this story, I would have been like, you're exaggerating. So my girlfriend had a bottle of water, was not opened. And you know, like, it's sealed shut, right? And the European waters are sealed even harder than the ones here. When we landed, she had her water bottle in the back of her pod, and she had your magazines at the front of her pod. And we landed, it was so hard that the water bottle flew from the back of her pod, flew and hit her TV screen and burst open and ruined the magazines. But that's how hard the landing was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still having nightmares. I mean, this just recently happened, so it's not like I'm not over it yet. But the magazine, I mean, the whole water bottle in half. I've thrown water bottles at somebody, you know, like if you're in the pool, hey, throw me a water, and it falls and hits the concrete. I've never seen a water bottle burst like that. So that has nothing to do with Dubai, but it's just my last overseas trip.
Well, on those trips, from what I've read and seen, you know, sometimes they either, when they run into trouble, they either try to climb out of it or drop below it.
Well, we went right in the middle.
Well, when you were landing, you had to land.
We had to, because you can't
keep
nose
circle.
us. Well, they didn't even try to circle us around Houston, but I think it was to the point where truthfully, they should have diverted us. Is what they should. They should have diverted us to another city, in Dallas or somewhere that there was not a tornado, an active tornado. And then my girlfriend was like, you're so dramatic. It wasn't that bad. And I'm like, you're insane. Like, that was one of the most terrifying things that's ever happened in my life. So then the next morning, I'm driving back to San Antonio, and she sends me a text. It was on the national news.
Yeah.
And I mean, she goes, man, you weren't lying. That really was a tornado. And I was like, she was like, I was too busy watching Landman. She's just laughing her ass off. Water flying everywhere. She just was like, well, Landman was so funny. I was just listening to that. And I mean,
a lot of people didn't pay attention to what's going on.
I was talking to my Lord and Savior. And I was like, I have no Wi-Fi, so I can't text anybody and say, hey, this is where the money is stashed. It's not like I could tell anybody, hey, I love you.
I had a cousin like that. She'd tell me, now, if anything happens to me, I've got it in the freezer. I think that's country, folks.
Well, I mean, but it's true. Listen, your sister, my grandmother, she had cash and liquor in her freezer.
Really? What, vodka?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Like when I was a little kid, I remember I found it, and I say little, I was probably 12, something like that. She had vodka and cash, and then I never saw the cash again because I guess she knew I knew it was there. I mean, hell, I wasn't gonna steal it from her, but you know how tight she was with her money. And you never knew anybody tighter.
No. And what's so sad is she didn't take it with her.
No, you can't take it with her. You can't take it with you. I mean, I guess you could put it in your coffin.
Well, who was it? The old boy that took the money and wrote him a check for it. You've heard that story, right?
Yeah. Well, so that was my last overseas little experience. It was. I'm still having nightmares from it. Like it terrified me.
Yeah,
and I don't like flying in general.
I know you don't like flying anymore.
I'm not a fan of flying. And speaking of flying, you and I are about to fly to go watch your grandson become a doctor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you, I probably told you, I've been reading, Todd's been sending me books, the pro football player that we worked for when Todd was little.
Yes, Box.
A Box that was his place. They filmed Dallas on it. Well, he passed away several years ago, and his son has written two books. He was a country boy, raised, picked cotton, made it through being a CEO, and but basically at heart he wanted to be a rancher, but he found out real quick in order to be rich, be a big rancher, you got to make money. Yeah. So he had the OKC, which was on the stock exchange. Country when I was there, I didn't realize they were CEOs or we weren't raised about stock exchange.
Yeah, you just thought they were working the land.
And Todd and I flew with little. I know a couple of times one of his sons they were all in private school, but he kept getting deported from, and I'd say, where are we going? We're going to make a little detour, Jerry, by and pick up the kid.
He kept getting kicked out of school.
Kicked out of, off his school. What happened? Well, he put matches between this kid's toes, and they have kicked him.
So that's who wrote the book?
No, the younger one wrote the book. I think, and then he wrote another book about Frisco. So Todd sent me that one. And then where Peyton's doing his so many weeks training, Todd sent me a book about this veterinarian.
Oh.
And he's world famous, and his is Bo Brock, B-R-O-C-K.
Brock, I like that name, Brock.
And he built this big veterinary clinic past Lubbock, just out in the country. And the book is about all of his experience. He was the first one in his family to ever go to college, and he is renowned, and that's who Peyton's getting to study under right now.
I love that. Well, yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Todd texted me last night, have you finished the book? And I text back, not yet.
Well, yeah.
But it's stories about all the ranchers and things out there that he
was the vet too.
And I'll let you read it if you want to, because it's amazing. He has this philosophy. You got to look for something to make you laugh.
Always, because if not, you got to laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah, you got to keep.
I've learned that in adulthood.
If you don't, honey, but it's amusing. So I've entertained myself for several weeks just reading about
all that.
About people. Well, it's more interesting, I would ask Todd, don't you remember us flying with him on his Learjet? He said a little bit, and like I say, he was a type that could run with the president or a working man. He had that
the best
kind
way to
of,
be
a deal, and he would come down to the place we lived on that deal, and we'd make ice cream.
I love that.
And he'd lay in the floor and eat. And then he got sick, and he went on this diet where you rinse the rice with fruit. And we wasn't even working for him anymore. But he and I were
what
good
diet
friends.
is that?
From Duke University. And he came, and I fixed his rice. You rinsed it a bunch of times, and the deal. Todd said,
"Does it take carbs off of it, or what?"
Honey, one of his big buddies said, "Jerry, you got to talk to Cloyce." And I said, "Why?" He said, you and he get along good. He's killing himself. He's losing all this weight." But he lost all that weight.
Well, according to my viewers, I need to lose a lot of weight, so maybe I should get on the rice diet.
Hey, I can rinse it for you, and I had canned some stuff, and I did that.
So I just rinse the rice a bunch of times and eat it by itself.
At Duke University, and he lost a lot of weight, but I didn't realize. Because we talked about everything. His mother and daddy were divorced, and his mother lived in a guest cottage behind their big house. And when she died, he brought his daddy in, and he called him DR.
Love that.
And his sister was a registered nurse, and he had a twin brother.
Yeah, I remember you saying this now.
He took very family oriented.
You should be.
I mean,
they were there with you before you went to the top.
And I knew the kid that got kicked out of the school. He would come to me, and I
you probably loved him, and he probably loved you.
I'd cook for him, on the deal. But I learned some stuff I didn't know, and Todd learned stuff. But JJ's uncle, Rodney, the one that's big CPA and tax attorney.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug wrote the book. Well, Cloyce had a double major, put himself through, because he picked cotton when he was a kid, through school, an engineer and a lawyer.
That's a lot of degrees.
And he and Fern, which his wife, you talk about a southern beautiful belle, blonde, just really very cultured, could have been a concert pianist, and Cloyce was basically, he wanted to be a rancher and a country boy.
Yeah.
They finally divorced, and Cloyce remarried, and I think Kathy Lee sang at his funeral because his husband and Cloyce were big friends. Frank Gifford. On that
so
deal.
Random.
But anyway, he died in his sleep. I didn't realize that his blood pressure, he had real high blood pressure, but he never showed when he was upset. He could be very stoic.
Which some people, to me, though, have high BP, and
because they hold everything in.
Right. And others, you can just look at them and know they need to be on a beta blocker. Your neck is looking like a toad. It's
he
you better get on a beta blocker.
I mean, he was always in order to get rich. I asked him one time. I said, "How did you really, really make it?" He said, "I took the advice of the Phillips Petroleum guy. Anything he told me to do." And he would go for it.
Well, I'm going
And
to take.
sometimes you can go too far for
I'm
it.
going to take the advice of Duke University on rinsing rice. Wait, I'm sorry. That I am going to Google that the second we're done.
It's a true story, honey. I've forgotten how many times I rinsed it, but you know me, I'm for anything fit. Hey, let's try it.
I know, but that's just one of the crazier things I've ever heard. Just rinsing rice and you'll lose weight.
Right. Well, he lost a lot of weight because J.R. Evans, he owned a racetrack and they were big buddies in the oil and gas. And he told me, he said, Jerry's killing himself losing all that weight. But he lost it, Mill.
That was the Ozempic of
that was
the,
in
of
75.
the 60s,
That
70s.
was in 75. Because Todd's daddy won the race in 75, and we flew out of there in Cloyce's plane and went to Dallas to celebrate.
Okay, well, I'm looking into that. But back to your grandson, I do have to say, because we've talked about your grandkids on the last few pods, you told me after your stroke and at Christmas, you said I always wanted to live to see my son's dreams come true, and you have. And then you said after the stroke, you said, I want to live to see Peyton graduate school.
The Patester.
And so I'm taking you, he graduates May 17th, I think. 16th, 17th, something. It's on the calendar.
In Tennessee.
You and I are headed to Knoxville.
Hey, way we come.
And we'll have a pod after that. I'm sure.
Country girls, here we come.
I can't wait to see how that is going to go. But
the boss said at Christmas, what's going to do, and they said, have a big party.
Yep.
I'm sure no drinking will be involved.
I'm gonna say 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10.
No drinking involved.
I'm gonna tell you what, Peyton that's 8 years of college. I'd be drinking too.
Oh, honey, I
Dr. Pletcher, here he comes.
You know what I told him, and he'll call me when he's driving, and finally I'll have to say, Peyton, I better get off. We'll talk an hour, and I said, Peyton, when you get to be a doctor and you can write prescriptions and everything, I said, I'm going to become your patient. And he got real quiet and he thought a minute and he said, grandmother, I don't see really too much difference. We might could do it.
I mean, hey, they have Xanax for dogs now.
Yeah.
So
they do. They tranquilize it. They treat them for everything.
Give me a shot. Give me a dart in the neck.
Say, grandmother, give me. He said, "Well, grandmother, maybe." He didn't know I was just
joking.
But you'd be surprised. I know Todd's daddy. Some of those veterinarians have gave him shots for things like. Antibiotic.
Yeah, a steroid.
Yeah,
a steroid shot.
Yeah.
I'm not real good at science, math, things of the sort, but I would assume if they're, they test all this shit on animals first anyway. So if they're giving it to the animal and then give it to us, I wouldn't think it's too far-fetched.
You ought to tell this old boy, say when he first got started, like he said, in any school you go to, you just learn enough to get out, and then
you go get in your specialty and really get down to it.
And then you learn. And he said when he first got started, he didn't know, and now he can be eating and operating, and it becomes secondhand to you.
I mean, yeah, because it becomes your daily routine, right? Okay, so Auntie, before we close out, give me actually. I've had this one story because I was going to say, give me some good advice for 2026. But I have to tell you this story first because you're not going to believe it. This might be the most blonde shit I've ever done in my life. Okay, so.
Blonde or blonde?
Blonde.
Blonde.
Dumb blonde.
Oh.
Okay. I have my closet, I remodeled it a couple years ago, but the way my house is shaped, the closet couldn't really get any bigger, and I still had the same amount of stuff, of clothes and shoes. Okay, let me tell you what I just discovered. So I made this list for 2026 of things I'm changing, resolutions, things I want to do more of, things I'm doing less of, blah, blah, blah. So one of them is purging. So I started in the office, then I started in my closet, purging, getting rid of
the house
stuff. Yes, the whole house, stuff I don't need, stuff I don't use, stuff that other people could use. Like I'm giving it away. We're not. There's nobody's selling anything here.
I gave my stuff away.
Yeah, giving it away. Let me tell you what I have just discovered. So Memes, who is like, for those that don't know, she's like my mom. She's my we call her my San Antonio mom. She's much taller, than I am. So she had come help me purge about a year and a half ago or so. So her height, I can't see a lot of the things that she put in some of the top rows. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm purging just recently. Then when I say just recently, I mean like last week, 2 weeks ago, after I got back from my summit.
Yeah, you told me that.
And so I find a box, okay, and I open it. I had forgotten about these shoes that I bought. Let me throw that.
Oh yeah.
Let me throw that.
Been there, done that.
I literally forgot I bought them, and I pull them out to wear.
Have they rotted?
No, it gets better. There's one shoe and one shoelace. What in the fuck am I going to do with one shoelace? Floss my ass? What am I going to do with one shoe? Throw it at your face? What am I going to do with one shoelace and one shoe?
Who put it up there?
Memes. But where's the other shoe and where's it at?
Hey, honey.
That is one of the most blonde, dumb things I've ever done in my life. How did they let me leave that store with one shoe? What am I going to do with it? I can't return it.
Oh, it's somewhere in the house.
I don't think so. It was in the box. It was all wrapped still in the paper and
maybe they just put the one shoe in
and left the other one on the show floor and then sent it back to the warehouse and said, we can't find the sister.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's here.
Yeah.
Is that not the blondest shit you've ever heard?
Let me tell you, Tracy's aunt, Frankie, Frankie.
Yeah.
Okay. She has no children. She goes to a lot of the deals. She was married to Tracy's uncle, and he passed away. But she loves to shop like you and I. So we were in either New York or Florida. It doesn't matter. And she found this one shoe that she loved. And honey, we spent hours and had that whole store hunting that one shoe, but we found it. And she was here not long ago, and I said, and then she called me and she said, "Oh, Jerry, you can go get those shoes. In fact, I've got a pair of them in the closet now. Payless has them." And they were never that expensive. But she does buy the fancy stuff. But she told that story to her new husband when she was here a couple of months. And it was a true story. They went through every shelf and all that story. So they probably left the shoe out the box. And you probably got home and never did even think about wearing them.
No, because Memes had come over and helped me organize stuff, and she put the box, I guess, assuming, because I keep a lot of the boxes.
Do you know where you got them?
Yes.
Go raise hell with them.
They're going to say,
my slip.
They're going to say, Miss Ryne, you bought these December of 2024. Go home.
When Todd won the Derby, not sand and mud, and I had bought these high-priced shoes, And they were running. I went up there and I wanted my money back, and they wouldn't give it to
Well,
me.
no.
And I got highly irate out of my girlfriend's eyes because she'd never seen me.
They said not no, but hell no.
No. And I said, well, blankety blank, I'll never be in your blank blank story again.
Well, I'm not even going to try to call and correct this mishap with the shoes. But anyway, I had to tell you that story because this just happened to me. I pulled.
What?
But
No,
okay,
what?
give us. We're closing up. Give us your 2026 advice. Auntie, you got to hold the cup up. Cheers.
My best advice to give you or anybody is love yourself.
Okay.
Be true to yourself. And don't try to be somebody you're not. And do not try to change people, because that does not work. And I landed as my usual toast: may the fox outrun the hounds, the wife never meet the girlfriend.
Cheers.
It's cheers. It's been fun.
Thanks, Auntie. Love you.
Love you. How was it? I think this is our best one.
It was great. And a lot of people won't know who